Hi everyone and welcome to our Flourish Collection. This kit is really going to make you smile. It will warm your heart. It'll give you that sense of renewed faith with renewal with respect to spring or personality or anything that's going on. I know we've had challenges in the world today and we wanted to come out with a kit that would make you smile and give you that hope and real joy in your life once again. The colors in here will make you smile because it is such a colorful and bright and cheerful kit. So hence the name Flourish came about when when we were talking about and discussing what the name of it should be. It really was that simple. It embodies so many things. So to get to it, this is our bundled collection. And for those of you that are newer to us, a bundled collection includes all 5 coordinated products, purchasing it as one item, and you get all 5 of them. In doing so, you save 20% versus purchasing each item individually, and as well, you do get no duplicates in here, so don't worry about that. So to go in and actually see what it is, here is the backgrounds, and it starts out with a bang. You know, there are those beautiful florals I'm sure that you purchased these kits. Mary Fran does such a great job with them. You know, these are so beautiful, and I'm sure you're going to want to use them for many things. And there is the pop of color. You can see just how joyful and how that makes your heart, it's kind of that, oh, this is what I've been looking for. I'm looking for joy and lightness. And again, like I said, you know, it can be used for so many different things because of this theme. But here is that kind of collagey, papery feel, and you'll see that kind of flow throughout the collection here. But take a look at this for a second and think about this if it was a scrapbooking layout. Well, imagine if you just added one photo in here and a little bit of journaling. Your layout's done. It's super easy. And if you look down here and you can see how where the 12 by 12 paper ends, you can see that kind of light grayishy white color. Well, imagine if this was a cover for your journal or a cover for your mini album. All you have to do is add in a nice blank word tag up here, write in or type in what it is that this is about to you. What about an anniversary party memory album? What about a birthday album for your friend? You know, this can do so many things, and I'm sure you're seeing the ideas yourself. So again, the background papers, lots of great patterns in here and so many cheerful colors. The hues of things in this kit are just beautiful. You can see there's a lot of different background papers, the diamond pattern and things like that in here as well. So really, really interesting ones that you don't want to miss out on. And then there is those florals. Those rich, beautiful florals, you know, so useful. And you're going to see this in my card making idea. You're going to see how different the layout that Mary Fran made and the card that I made, just to show you how different you can go with this in terms of the theme or how you create. This goes very much to the pretty side. So if you're creating something feminine, whether that be wedding, anniversary, engagement, friendship, love, you know, things like that, the florals are going to lend such a great background paper to those creating. And there's the several different colors. But if you wanted to go something a little more whimsical, you have stuff like ginghams in here. You have leaves backgrounds that we're going to come up to. Here we are. So there's so many different options that you have with this kit. And really that's what, you know, Mary Fran has tried to create lately, is to give you, if you want to call them a themeless, you know, kind of kit. So that way it lends itself to so many things. It opens up your creativity because what you see and how you want to create with it is completely different than maybe what somebody else would do, but equally as beautiful and equally as useful in terms of this kit. So there's the gorgeous toiles in order to finish it off, and then into the embellishments. And here's the birds. Just simple bird shapes with the covering of those beautiful papers. How great is that? Isn't that just a gorgeous element? Rather than it being a lifelike bird or a whatever, these are so great. Very, very useful elements once again, right? Some beautiful bows to add a little bit of color, and same thing with brads to add a little bit of shine, a little bit of pizzazz, right? There's also the buttons, which are super useful. The butterflies. The butterflies are such great elements. So it gives you a sense of lightness, airiness, whether that is gardening, whether that is love, whether that is you know, from a recital or something that you know your kids had, or a graduation. You want to add that air of lightness and beautiful. There's a butterfly in order to do that for you. The buttons are so great with that center tie in it. Again, lends itself to something a little more pretty, a little more delicate, right? But still very happy and cheerful. The flower clusters in their individual form, we always want you to have individual elements and items to use so that you can really truly let your creativity flow. We don't want to do everything for you, even though there are a lot of pre-made items. You know, it comes in handy if you are having a bit of a block, or you have a limited time span or things like that. It's great to have those items, but here are all the parts and pieces, so your creativity is endless with these. Great journal mats. So again, gives you areas to write if you want to. You can add a photo if you want to, or you can use it as a standalone element, just as you see there. So many options with these things. Bloom, bold and bright. There's a little more with this label, a little more pre-done for you. These are great because they give you that starting point. A lot of times when we create, you're kind of like, okay, I love all these things, but where do I start? There's so many things in here. There's so many choices. Those are great starting points. Things like these labels. Hello, friend. It's got the butterfly on it already. Everything else. Then it gives you a color palette to sort of work with because of this main element, as well as gives you that main element to start off with. It gives you such visual interest in your focal point. Great measuring tapes. Really neat little element. And of course with spring, who knows what it is that you're using that for, right? Now is your time to flourish. And again, totally embodies what this paper kit is all about. Here is a paper cluster, and you're going to see Mary Fran has used this in the layout. You're going to see how wonderful that goes together. Here's another paper tag in that vintage form. Really awesome. You're going to see how I've used that in the card making idea at the end that I show you. You're going to see how that kind of comes together with a bunch of other elements. I kind of paired it up with a lot of things this time. Loved it. Quote labels, again, great additions if this is what you wanted to say. Super easy to just place in there. The font work has been done. The wording has been done for you already. So it's just as simple as putting it in. Here's a digital stamp for you as well. My favorite place is where there is love and laughter. Again, a great one to use to just simply place in. You can put that on any background paper. You can put it on a photo, whatever, and then print it, and it's already on there, just as if you were using a polymer stamp. So different kind of stamp, obviously, in the stamp shape. Very pretty, very elegant. So again, you're seeing the different ways that this kit can go in order to create with. Tickets, again, great items. Look at how detailed this is and how pretty and beautiful with the delightful word. And then you go into something like admit, where you're just, I really like the shape, but I don't want it to steal the attention from something else. You've got items like that, right? Same thing with this ticket with, row and seat and section, date and an event. You've got something that's writable. So 3 completely different tickets for 3 completely different looks. A little bit of washi tape, and you're going to see a little bit more of that in the little bits. There's more of it in there if you're a washi tape lover. Beautiful day for word labels here. Again, going that vintage way, right? You see that those look like those old style label makers with that ka-chunk, for if you're old enough to remember those, those are great items. Word strips that you can write on very easily. So done for you, like love to you, and there's a start for you, and then you just fill in your pertinent, personalized details in there. Lastly, blank word strips. Obviously, can't hit every single item or every single event or theme or whatever that you are thinking of creating for. So that's why the blanks are so helpful and so useful for you, is they're beautifully designed and you get to use them exactly as you see fit. So that was the FQB. In the little bits, here are more elements for you, additional elements that you do not get anywhere else. And look at these, like the card cluster here is an obvious with the stitching down here. The first thing that came to mind for me was a cover for something. And if you want to pair that with put another background paper behind it, you want to use it as is, whatever it is, look at that. That is just such a great starting element. Mary Fran has taken the work of it out of it for you. The frames, again, you can add photos behind this, you can frame in a main element, or you can just simply use it as put a background paper behind this, and you're using it just as a standalone element. Lots of ideas, lots of options with it. Another great paper cluster main element for you to go with. If that was the colors, more that vintage feel that you were going for, here's a great starter one for you. Here's another paper cluster for you. Like, again, the little bits contain so many items that are starters for you. beautiful main elements that you can use right off and get to creating right away. Again, another sentiment stamp for you. Live life in full bloom, our time to flourish, and as I mentioned before, some extra washi tape pieces. So you're going to see how I used some in my card making idea. I'll make sure to point those out to you just to see how to use those. If you're not quite comfortable in terms of how to use them, they are terrific elements to use. The solid papers, obviously, you use these kind of like you would cardstock when you're paper crafting. These are fabulous for it because these are perfectly color matched. Just a very hint of a pattern in here. So don't be frightened to use them as main background papers as well if you want to create your own custom background paper. What about putting in a digital stamp, adding a floral cluster, maybe one of the birds, some washi tape up here, maybe you've got a sentiment area, you added a journal mat or a photo, or just one of the blank tags because you filled it into yourself. Don't hesitate. There is full creative ability with these kits. You can do as much or as little as you want. But there is what's in the solids for you. The two paper pack contains obviously papers that coordinate with the kit. Same patterns you've seen, but not in these colors. This is the only place that you can get these patterns in these colors is in the two paper pack. So make sure not to miss out on it, because if you're creating multiple items, you definitely want lots and lots of options so that you have great coordinates without having to duplicate items for you. And lastly is our alpha. And the alpha is a great item, again, very bold, very punchy. It's going to let you punctuate and highlight names, dates, places, themes, emotions, whatever it is. Make sure and use these. An alpha is a great, great thing. So as I mentioned to you when we were going through, you saw those background papers that I was saying this could be a cover. Well, why wouldn't you use the alpha in order to spell out maybe this was a cover because of this was Jane and Bob's anniversary? Well, why not put Jane and Bob using the alpha, right? That's kind of what it's about. Or anniversary, or a date, their date of their anniversary or something like that. There's so many things that you can do with this. Make sure to not miss using the alpha. So that is the kit, folks. Now to show you the little bit of inspiration I was talking about earlier, here's the layout that Mary Fran made. Super fun layout. You can see there is so much interest here with the collage feel to it. You have great photos. It really combines together. Here's how Mary Fran chose to use the digital stamp. She added in many extra elements in order to give it such bright, cheerful, and you can see by her face how much she was enjoying this day and these photos. So it enhanced it. It complemented it by making a layout like this with the particular elements and colors that are here. So super obvious, but it's really, really interesting. Really interesting layout to look at. In the card idea, this is what I was talking about earlier. Much different. This lends way more to the pretty side. This goes to the vintagey pretty. Because of the word tag I added with live, love, and laugh, you could use this for so many different things. Is this for a friendship? Is this for a birthday? Is this for an anniversary, an engagement? You name it. This card could suit so many different things because it has the beauty you're trying to convey, but it is also very light, bright, and pretty. There's the washi tape. I was talking to you about the washi tape. How do I use it? Well, I wanted to add a little bit of a transition here. I had a lot of white space kind of going on in here, and I wanted a little bit of extra color. And obviously, these two colors of the washi tape matched perfectly with what I was doing. So there's how you use some of those things, is use it as a transition, maybe to break up almost like a halfway point in your card layout, whatever it is. That's kind of an idea for you. So thanks for tuning in to our bundled Flourish collection. I hope that it made your heart sing and gave you such creative options and juices. I hope it made your juices flow with lightness and happiness, because we have all gone through such a time here with the coronavirus and being limited and stuff like that with our movements and everything that's gone on and the terrible things that have happened to people's families. I hope that a lot of you have stayed safe and healthy during this time period. We obviously wish that for you. But we're also helping that this helps to bring us out of it. Let's move forward. Let's go confidently and flourish once again. So thanks again for tuning in. Before I let you go, please click on the Nitwit Collections logo in the bottom right corner of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to our YouTube channel where you'll be made aware of any time a new video is placed up. As well, give us the thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts on this collection and how you're going to use it. We hope that you enjoy creating with this, and thanks for tuning in.